Hello and welcome to Big Bang with me, Nabila. Just a few weeks after the shocker from Pune where a nanny assaulted a baby, here comes another shocker, and this is in Namma Bengaluru.
Naman is just 1 year old. Just like any other baby of his age, he too was playing around the house. Little did this little boy know that he would be bruised and battered by his own nanny. Naman's parents Ravi Jairam and Soumya are techies residing in Horamavu. Both left home on Thursday morning, and when they returned home at around 11 the same night, the baby was sleeping. It was only later that the parents realized that their son had bruises, scratches and blood clots on different parts of his body. Completely shocked, the parents immediately rushed the baby to the hospital. The doctors indeed confirmed it was an assault. And when the parents questioned the nanny, who is around 17 to 18 years of age, she initially said that the baby had fallen from a sofa. But when probed further, she claimed that she felt as if she was possessed and was not conscious about what she had done.
My wife came early. That time he was sleeping, so she didn't notice what happened to him. Then once I came from office in the night, he was sleeping, but still I was able to see these marks, black marks. Okay. Then what I did is just I called my wife. I said what happened? I don't know. It's swelling. Head is swelling, and also there are a lot of marks here. Okay. Then we spoke to her. She was not ready to reveal anything. She said probably he got hit by something, caught or something. After 1 hour, finally she said okay, yeah, he fell down from the sofa. Okay, so that's why he got hurt.
The couple approached the police on Thursday night to lodge a complaint, but the police refused to accept the complaint nor arrest her, since they did not have a lady constable in the station. When informed about the cruel act to the nanny's parents, a family came rushing from Bangarpet. The family requested the techie couple to not file a complaint and took the girl along with them. But Naman's mother says that she did not notice any unusual behavior from the nanny, as she claimed. Now she suggests a background check for people who are planning to hire nannies to look after their baby.
Total shock. We never expected, because she used to be very nice. I mean, like a family member. Don't go by their face. Please go through a background check of the lady who you are hiring. So, and please inquire the home she has worked before. How was her behavior and what was the reason she moved to the next house.
And psychiatrists suspect that the nanny might be suffering from a psychological issue and was not suitable to take up this kind of a job.
Taking care of the baby is a very, very delicate job, and it only can be done by a person who has lots of patience and tolerance. Anybody who is lacking in patience and tolerance, who can get frustrated quite easily, probably will find it very difficult or tough to do this particular job. I would be surprised if her IQ comes as normal. If in case it comes as normal, then you are then looking at a slightly different possibility, whether this girl actually has some kind of a dissociative disorder. In a dissociative disorder, a patient can actually take a different identity and claim that certain things that they happened for which they should be responsible did not happen with their conscious volition.
Experts also suggest that the parents should be extra cautious while hiring a nanny and should be vigilant even after hiring them.
Parents come home, they have to check the child from top to bottom, both in the front and the back, to just see if there are any signs of abuse. Number two, you have to watch out for any signs of change in the child's behavior. What are the possible changes in the child's behavior? One, it might not sleep well. It might have nightmares. It will probably wake up much more frequently and start crying much more than what it had been doing previously. So it will have difficult sleep. It will probably start eating less. It is also possible that it is going to be more cranky and more demanding during the daytime when the parents are around.
Well, nuclear families are increasing in Bengaluru, and with both parents working, couples are increasingly looking at hiring nannies. But parents will do good to do a thorough background check and put a monitoring process in place to ensure babies are safe. Harish Upadhyay, News 9, Bengaluru.
The nightlife extension over weekends, which was for a trial period of 3 months, is coming to an end this weekend. For the late night party goers who are skeptical about whether it is here to stay, here's some good news for you.
Bengaluru's lack of a thriving nightlife was the only hurdle that stood between the city being in the same league as the likes of Mumbai and Delhi. The government's decision to extend the deadline till 1 a.m. for the last 2 days of the week was a ray of hope for the ones looking to change this. Now, though the 3-month trial period is coming to an end, you have no reasons to worry. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is mulling over extending the nightlife. Bengaluru might soon have an extended nightlife, not just over the weekends, but all through the week.
ಈಗ 3 ತಿಂಗಳು ಏನೇನಾಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅದು ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಅವರು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆಗಳಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಇದೇನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿಗೆ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವರು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Well, after reviewing the report of weekends over the past 3 months given by the cops, the government seemed to be in favor of extending the deadline. There were no major incidents of drunken driving or chaos that the cops had to deal with. And with the Bengaluru police raising no major concerns over the curfew extension, Principal Secretary Kaushik Mukherjee will be doing one final review before the order is passed. We wanted to see Bengalurians' reaction on this, and here is what they had to say.
Okay, yeah, because I'm a big party person.
That's really nice. I mean, just weekends. We used to just depend on the weekends. I think it's actually pretty good because, I mean, in every other, I think in Delhi and all, Mumbai, it's still 4 and stuff.
It's good, like, because we want some nightlife in Bangalore. As the students, we want some nightlife in Bangalore, and it would be good to party till 1.
First of all, I was very satisfied with their improvement about the deadline. I think we all deserve it. It's our college life. Why not here? Like if it's in Mumbai, if it's in Delhi, why not Bangalore?
The government has taken that step. Government will take more stringent steps for the safety of the people. That's it.
I don't like it actually because until 1 o'clock, in few instances it's okay, and not in all the instances.
Everything has some positive points also as well as negative points also.
It's good because like usually the offices will be around like 9 and all, so it's good. Like,
See, if something has to happen, it will happen at any time.
As long as they're safe, it's okay. But then they should also increase the protection and the transportation also, like the buses or autos or something.
No, I think it's fair enough that you should allow people to stay out late in the city. People need to have their share of fun.
It's a recreational thing, man. If they want to do it, let them do it. Moral policing and extra security is something which is needed to be done by the government only.
If approved, the extended curfew for all days of the week comes as a boon, not just for party goers but also restaurant and bar owners. They will soon be preparing for busy nights all through the week. With the expanding tech life and infrastructure development, many would say that the IT capital is now on its way to becoming one of the best cities in the country. And now youngsters could well call Namma City the party capital as well. With the CM in favour of nightlife extension and the city police having no problem with it, Bengalurians have a reason to cheer and yes, party hard and long.
You were woken by the loud thunder scalps and lightning last night? Well, so were many others. From a pregnant woman clinging on to dear life to fallen trees and collapsed walls. Take a look at the trail of wreckage left behind by last night's persistent rains.
From scorching sun to incessant rains, the weather has been blowing hot and cold during these months preceding the monsoon. Last night's heavy thunderstorm and rainfall was one such experience for many Bengalurians. Many roads and tiny streets were flooded with water, making late-night commute all the more difficult. Several buildings in low-lying areas too were flooded with the sudden showers, and one such area was in Nandini layout. This time it was a heavily pregnant woman with her mother who was clinging on to her dear life.
ರಾತ್ರಿ 1:15 ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೌಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬೆಚ್ಚಬಿದ್ದೆದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಗುಡುಗು ಮಿಂಚು ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಎದ್ರುಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರು. ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸೆಕೆಂಡು ಕಣ್ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಕಣ್ಬಿಡೋದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ನೀರು ಮಂಚನೇ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಎತ್ತಿ ಸಜ್ಜೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಮಂಚ ಸೋಫಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಸಮೇತನೇ ಎತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಜ್ಜೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ತುಂಬಾ ಹೊತ್ತು ನಿಂತಿದ್ವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದು ಪಾಪ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಈಚೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಫುಲ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಇತ್ತು. ಇನ್ನ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ನೀರ್ ಇಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಾಗೋಗಿತ್ತು. ನೀರು ಫುಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು.
The residents have lost almost all their belongings. From their jewelry to money and electronics, it was either damaged or washed out as their home was submerged in water.
Now, their problem started at 1:30 in the early hours of the morning or last night. Now, from 1:30 to 2:30 to 3:30, they were holding on to the sajja. In fact, we are told that they stood on top of their bed, held on to it and called for help. Now, after 2 hours, the people who heard them.
And while timely help arrived for the pregnant woman, it was not the same for the vehicles parked in an apartment complex in Basveshwar Nagar. The residents state that the compound wall was weakened by the stagnant drainage at the bottom of the wall on the outside. Moreover, with the construction material dumped on the outside, there was enough pressure on it, leading to its collapse. The residents have complained that the BBMP and local corporators neglected their complaints about the weakened wall. If the incident had occurred during the day, several kids too could have been injured.
Now, such was the impact. You can see it's completely damaged. Now, in fact, let me now speak to another resident to find out more about this. A lot of kids kept playing over here. Now, suppose this had happened in the daytime, I mean, it would have been a totally different case.
Like about almost 8 to 10 kids are always playing around. So luckily it happened in the night, and 2:30 I heard a thump kind of a noise coming over. So I just ran out to see. I thought maybe a tree's fallen. I'm looking up there and I see the wall collapse down here. So there was a crack. I think it's due to the construction material which has been lying here for quite some time. From the day one, we've been telling them, because it's a compound wall, it's a possibility that it might just, break through it. And then we have these sewage blockages here, residents coming and throwing in sewage.
So basically what you're saying is, one is because the drain water which was stagnant right over here. Now this is supposed to be the drain. In fact, we are told that water was stagnant for almost 2 months in this particular spot. And apart from that, what actually created more havoc was that the jelly over here, the stones as well as the sand, the drain water along with the force of the sand and the jelly weakened the already weakened wall, and hence it collapsed.
And as always, a report on the aftermath of rains in Bengaluru would be incomplete without fallen trees. 2 huge trees came crashing down, and this time it was not in a residential layout. Apart from a large tree near the Lokayukta office, another, which is believed to be decades old, collapsed right outside the Raj Bhavan building near Vidhana Sauda. The busy traffic on this road was diverted as labourers were busy chopping down the tree.
Now, what is the biggest problem here facing Bangalore? Why are trees crashing down every time it rains? Well, I'll give you the example. The simple problem is that there is no space for the trees to breathe. There is no space for water to seep down to the roots. In fact, those are the trees, or this is the particular tree that actually came crashing down. Now, what the city planners have done is that when they concretize the entire road, when they concretize the footpath, they have not left space around the tree for water to seep down. So what they have done is, basically, this is the route. Completely around it, there is no space. You have the footpath and there is absolutely no space for water to seep down. Now, considering the fact that Bangalore's groundwater problem is huge and plenty, the city planners have to, on a priority basis, make sure that water is allowed to actually seep down so the roots are strong. If the roots are not strong, one can't blame the trees when they keep falling every now and then when it rains. Now, this is the issue. With camera person Sushil, Nolan Pinto, News 9.